The International Summer Academy on European Democracy took place in Burgas, Bulgaria from the 12th till the 15th of July 2012. Civil activists, practitioners and researchers and political leaders from 9 European countries gathered on the Bulgarian Black Sea coast during the hot midsummer days to discuss the even hotter issues of debt crisis and citizens' participation in the European Union. The Summer Academy was organized by Democracy International. Democracy International is an alliance of individual citizens and non-governmental organizations aspiring for more citizens' participation and direct democracy in Europe and the world. This alliance has been incorporated recently in the city of Köln, Germany. The Summer Academy in Burgas is the first major event undertaken by Democracy International as a legal entity.
Как се стигна до това Бургас да бъде домакин на този форум?
Бургас е място, в което се е случвал референдум. И то е един съществен референдум в новата демократична история на България срещу един проект, който заплаши околната среда, здравето и бизнеса, поминъка на хората в региона. И оттам е и моят интерес към референдумите. И колегите, с които съм във връзка и с които основахме една европейска организация, която да насърчи развитието на пряката демокрация, на прякото вземане на решения от гражданите в Европа и света, Democracy International, реши да проведе тази нова организация, реши да проведе своята лятна академия по пряка демокрация в Бургас.
The first arrivals embark on a study tour in the region of Burgas. The tour presents an opportunity to meet representatives of local government in the municipalities of Pomoria and Nessebar, as well as the regional governor of Burgas. The meetings provide insight into the history of local democracy and especially the existing barriers to direct decision-making by the citizens. Daniel Schille, Democracy International CEO, briefed the Bulgarian local authorities about the use of initiative and referendum in German municipalities. About 200 local referenda are being held in Germany every year. Late last year, a major development decision in Stuttgart was taken through a referendum. A contested multi-billion rail project has been approved by a thin majority of voters. As for the issue of legislative barriers, Daniel Schille takes a firm stand against high turnout requirements. He strikes a positive example with the city of Munich, where referendum turnout threshold is set as just 10% of the voters. Along with the meeting policymakers, the Academy participants take also time for some sightseeing. They visit the old town of Nessebar, which is enlisted as World Heritage Site by UNESCO. The guests enjoy the view of Nessebar stones churches and modern houses, but their attention is drawn primarily to the town's system of governance through general assemblies, which existed 2,500 years ago. Inscripted marble stones on display in the Archaeological Museum provide abundant evidence of ancient direct democracy. It is July the 13th, and all the participants have already arrived in Burgas. The official opening of the Summer Academy takes place in the evening at Hotel Bulgaria in the heart of Burgas. Attending are not only Academy participants but also representatives of governmental and non-governmental entities and just local people interested in the topic of democracy. Atanaska Nikolova, Deputy Mayor of Burgas, addresses the participants with "Welcome to Burgas, Bulgaria's capital of direct democracy." This flattering address is followed by a musical welcome, performed by 2 young Bulgarian singers, Dimitar Yurnanov and Rosa Bozhinova. It is Friday, the 13th, but the evening denies the superstitious fears of the organizers of something going wrong. The meeting enjoys the interest of the audience and proceeds with a speech of Gerald Hefner of Understanding of Democracy. Gerald Hefner is the president of Democracy International and a member of the European Parliament. He is an acknowledged speaker, winner of the Best Speaker Awards in his country, Germany.
Идеите на пряката демокрация у нас са доколко приложими с оглед на това, че Ние като народ не сме свикнали да участваме в законодателната инициатива. Нито една от нашите конституции, дори и либералната Търновска конституция, не е позволявала законодателна инициатива на гражданите. В този смисъл, мистер Хефнер, доколко приложими са идеите на пряката демокрация у нас?
How applicable are the ideas of direct democracy in Bulgaria? Because no Bulgarian constitution has given the Bulgarian people the right to be directly involved in decision making and law making. Neither the constitution of Turnovo, which is the oldest Bulgarian constitution, nor present constitutions.
Yes, but the constitution can be changed and laws can be changed
Законите могат да бъдат променени.
and must be changed.
И трябва да бъдат променени.
I mean, the problem is that we always think we have democracy, also in Bulgaria.
Проблемът е, че винаги си мислим, че имаме демокрация, както и в България.
But what is democracy?
Какво е демокрация?
Is it enough if every fourth or fifth year you have one vote on a party or on a person?
Достатъчно ли е на всеки 4-5 години да гласуваме за една партия или за човек?
And then for the rest of the time you always are only a spectator watching what the politicians do?
И да бъдем през останалото време само зрители, наблюдавайки какво правят политиците.
I think that this is not enough. People want to have a say also on issues, on certain decisions between the elections.
Мисля, че това не е така. Мисля, че хората искат да имат думата по определени проблеми и във времето между изборите.
The chance of a country like Bulgaria that has no direct democracy in its constitution up to now is to learn from the other countries that already have experience with that and to take the best model for Bulgaria.
На България, която няма в Конституцията си залегнал модел на директна демокрация, е, че тя може да се научи от други държави, където има вече такъв опит и да избере най-добрия модел.
В последно време сме свидетели на много голямо социално недоволство. Видяхме хората да излизат на площадите в Атина, в Лондон, че дори и у нас.
A lot of social unrest recently in Athens, in London and even in Bulgaria.
Недоволството ли е това, което е в основата на пряката демокрация?
Is unrest and unhappiness what is at the heart of direct democracy.
Желанието на хората да вземат живота си в собствените ръце.
The desire of people to take their lives in their own hands.
Yes, I mean, if you have no say, if you have no influence on political decisions, then you get angry and then you protest and then sometimes you become violent.
Ако нямате думата по политически проблеми, вие ставате недоволни, ядосвате се и понякога това избива тези протести.
So protest just shows that there is a problem, but protest cannot solve the problem.
Протести показват, че има проблем, но протестиращите не могат да решат този проблем.
So we need instruments for citizens to speak out, to raise their issues, and we also need instruments where citizens can discuss and in the end decide on the basis of a proper discussion.
Имаме нужда от инструменти, с които хората могат да говорят, да могат да обсъждат и въз основа на тези обсъждания накрая да вземат правилно решение.
Let me say that I'm very afraid about the state of democracy and the future of democracy in Bulgaria, in Greece, but also in the whole of Europe, because
Аз съм много притеснен за състоянието на демокрацията в бъдеще, както в Гърция, така и в България, но също и в останалата част на Европа.
Because people have the feeling that the most important decisions that influence their everyday life are taken very high up and they have no chance to influence these decisions at all.
Защото хората имат чувство, че решенията, най-важните решения, които влияят на техния живот, се взимат някъде отгоре и те нямат никаква възможност да влияят върху тях.
This can, in the end, lead to frustration and also to extremist movements, to movements that are against democracy in general.
Това може да доведе до голямо разочарование и в крайна сметка до екстремизъм, до движения, които са против самата демокрация като такава.
So what we need is to improve democracy so that people are not only the spectators and do not only vote for parties, but they can decide on issues also between the elections.
The next day starts with an interactive play. The participants sit in 2 rows facing each other. Everyone talks to the person in front and after a while moves 1 seat so as to meet another Academy participant. The Hungarian Csaba Madars has traveled 28 hours to reach Burgas and share his fears about freedom of press in Hungary. Ciprian Denita breaks important news on a forthcoming referendum in Romania concerning presidential recall. Katerina Papadopoulou, a Greek lawyer and an activist, speaks about the deepening crisis in Greece and its impact on democracy. Abdulrashid Sulenyov comes from the intergovernmental organization IDEA based in Sweden. Korab Fafero, a public relations specialist, is the new staff member of Democracy International. Krasina Demireva is a member of the Federation of Young European Greens. Erwin Leutner, a member of an Austrian citizens group, has come to share his hopes for further improvements of referendum legislation in Austria. Crisis and democracy in the European Union is the main topic of the Summer Academy 2012 in Bulgas. Several panelists are invited to comment on various aspects of the current situation in the European Union. Daniel Schilly talks about European and German politics. Many of his compatriots are angered by the anti-crisis measures planned by the European bureaucracy. They demand wide public consultation and vote to approval of government decision on the new fiscal stability mechanism. Petko Kovachev, an economist and founder of Selenite, the Bulgarian Greece, comments on the unstable financial sector and rising public debt in Europe. Alexei Kozlov, head of the Russian organization Grasa, informs the participants about the increasing limitation and violation of democratic liberties in Russia. Following Putin's presidential victory, new legislation has been introduced which stipulates that every Russian citizen or NGO using foreign development funds shall bear the label of foreign agent. Abelardo Perez Garcia from France talks in a concise but emotional manner about the need of citizens' participation in the legislative process. When people are entirely excluded from policy making, they may take advantage of the rare opportunity of a popular vote to just express their general discontent with government regardless of the referendum question. Back in the referendum of 2005, Abelardo adds, it didn't matter much what President Chirac asked. French people were so outraged that even if Chirac had asked, do you want to be happy? Instead of, do you approve of the European Constitution? The answer would have been again, no. Meanwhile, the restaurant staff is feverishly looking for French flags at the insistent order of the Academy organizers. Today is the 14th of July. The national holiday of France, and the hosts want to surprise their French guests with special decoration. The Summer Academy continues with country briefings. They reveal the specific of citizens' involvement in the decision-making process in each of the countries: Bulgaria, Hungary, Greece, Romania and Austria. Dr. Martin Belov, a constitutional law expert, makes a presentation about the host country, Bulgaria. He emphasizes the worsening situation with the freedom and fairness of election process. A major problem for direct decision-making in Bulgaria present is the enormous number of signatures required by law to initiate a referendum, as well as the high voter turnout required to enforce referendum results. With all these barriers, is there still a chance for direct democracy in Bulgaria? People with a cause like Daniela Bojinova do not doubt that.
Какви са целите и задачите на лятната академия? Какво ще се случва в близките дни?
Ами, на тази лятна академия имаме гости от доста страни, от Германия, Австрия, Франция, Швеция, Русия, Гърция, Румъния. Мисля, че днес очакваме също един унгарец. Значи ние ще обменим информация как се случват тези неща, формите, в които гражданите участват пряко във вземането на решение. Било то чрез референдуми и граждански законодателни инициативи, а на места има и пряко отзоваване на политици на изборни длъжности чрез референдум, както предстои на румънците да се случи на 29 юли. Освен да обменим информация, ние ще се опитаме, и мисля, че това е още по-важно, да поставим началото на една кампания за свикване на граждански конвент. Такъв конвент може да се свика съгласно Лисабонския договор. Европейски конвент, който да направи един граждански анализ на състоянието на Европа, на това кризисно състояние и да въвлече гражданите в мерките, които се вземат, а не те да бъдат вземани от шепа политици за тяхна сметка и на техен гръб, на гърба на данъкоплатците. Лисабонския договор ни позволява да имаме такова излъчено от гражданите на 27-те държави членки събрание и ние смятаме да направим кампания за свикване на такова гражданско събрание, което се нарича конвеншън в Лисабонския договор.
Смятате ли, че като общество сме озрели за идеята на пряката демокрация за България?
Разбира се, че сме озрели. Ние сме едни информирани граждани, ние преди всичко сме тези, които плащаме сметката. И ако сме озрели да избираме хора във властта, защо да не сме озрели да вземем сами решения?
The Summer Academy participants break into groups so as to focus more intensely on a number of key issues. One group will go deeper into the issues of direct democracy in Eastern Europe. Another one is brainstorming on democracy, international organizational development. A third group is outlining a plan for the upcoming convention campaign. Gerald Hefner and Bruno Kaufmann, president of the Initiative and Referendum Institute Europep, elaborate on the idea of convening a new European convention like the one which developed the European Constitution 10 years ago. The new European Convention will have to discuss openly and widely the current state of affairs and a more democratic future for Europe. At the end of the Summer Academy in Burgas, several proposals have been shaped, a plan to enhance direct decision-making in Eastern Europe, a basic strategy about putting to work of the Lisbon Treaty's Convention clause, and a general outline of the future Convention campaign. The Summer Academy concludes with a final declaration, drawn up by people from 9 European countries. The declaration states that democracy is the most important issue of our time. Only good democracy can guarantee good political decisions. The future of Europe cannot be decided only by representatives of governments, the central bank and other executive institutions. Only European citizens can decide on the future of the European Union. After several decades of Europe of the government, isn't it time to build a Europe of the citizens?